Hey everybody, it's Alex from Heavy New York. We are at the Gramercy Theater. We just wrapped up an awesome interview with Nonpoint, and now we are here with Letters from the Fire. Thank you, Nina, for being here.
Sure. Thank you for having me.
It's so awesome to have you here. Congratulations. Your latest self-titled record is out now. How was the making of it? It's your first album with Letters from the Fire.
Yeah, it was quite a trip. It was a lot of fun. I'm a perfectionist, so a lot of pain.
Good.
But I'm very, very happy with the result. Super happy. You know, some of these lyrics and songs have lived with me for many years.
Definitely.
So yeah.
Now, being that this is your first record with the
Mm-hmm.
band, did the band want you to bring your own take, or did you kind of look at the previous record and see what they were doing and kind of adjusted your vocal style to it?
No, when I met with the band, they have already been a band for a while and wanted to try something new. I had my band was signed to Warner Brothers and wanted to do something new. We were kind of doing the same genre, so we were ready to try something new. But I didn't really change my style singing wise, but the music, they took it and they made it Letters from the Fire. Some of the songs, they took it and reworked the songs and made it into what they are. I think I have a little more pop kind of sensibility, and they're a little more, yeah.
Well,
So the blend, I like the blend.
From listening to the record, there is a great essence of a pop element, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
And there is also a real heavy side to it as well.
Yeah.
It seems like it could appeal to multiple people.
Yeah, I mean, that was what we wanted to do. A lot of the songs I thought were too pop for this project, but then Mike, the guitar player, is an amazing producer, and he's actually really good at making a lot of loud noise.
That's prepping for the double bass.
Yeah, he's really, yeah. No, so that's his specialty, is making loud noise. So he
It's metal, I would
literally,
hope
yeah,
so.
it's metal. So he literally took my songs and added the Letters from the Fire, and we got this kind of interesting. I think no one else is doing what we're doing,
Yeah.
because it's like that weird blend mix that I think is working really well.
Definitely. Now, being a vocalist, did you need to hear music in order to come up with lyrics, or did sometimes you had some lyrics written and the band wrote according to that?
Well, sometimes I hear it out of thin air. Sometimes I'll get a track and write to it. A couple of the songs, like one of the singles, Harley, was written for Warner Brothers. They wanted me, they let my band go. They wanted me to be more pop because they thought rock was dead. Rock was going to be the new jazz. So what we did was to give the middle finger.
You definitely did with that song.
Yeah, we took a pop song, that was already existing, and then made it Letters from the Fire and added all the heaviness to it. So, disguised it to show, take the pop song and make it metal and, give them the hard guitars that they said that we couldn't use, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
So, yeah. So each song is very different how I write. Some I wrote with the band, some alone, some just me and the piano. There's a ballad. It's just me and the piano, where I just sat and...
Was there a preconceived idea with the self-titled record that you wanted to do, or did everything just happen sort of organically?
I think it happened organically. When we sat down, we had 60 songs. Then we narrowed it down to 30. And then we kind of handpicked the songs that we thought would work, and then we molded them into, the record, because what we didn't want to do was have each song sound the same. You know how some record sounds the same? And what we wanted, every song to be its own little entity. So some of them are metal, some of them are punk, some of them are straight up pop, some of them are, so there's something for everyone. But still is Letters from the Fire, so you can it still ties in together, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. You ever worried that those songs that you cropped out are going to be on a B-side record one day and just be the biggest hit you guys ever had?
Well, my manager, who's right over there, thought we missed it. One of them he really wanted on, and he thought it was a huge hit. So we did it we just did it, gave it to the fan as an extra bonus, because he thought we'd made a mistake not to add that particular song to the record. But there's still some gems in there. I mean, it's hard. They're my children. I don't know which one I like the best,
It is it's like one of your children. You have to save 2, kill 4.
Yeah, I know. So it's really hard to be objective as well. But we try to pick the ones that were best for the record and what we wanted to say, instead of just our personal favorites.
Was there a certain thing you were looking for that helped you narrow it down to those amount of songs?
what we did was we picked all our favorites, and then we were like, okay, instead of, we wanted some other particular songs, but then we would have like 5 songs in the same feel and the same tempo, and that's what I did not want to do. So sometimes some of my favorites would be cast aside to get a record that had more dynamics to it instead of, the same kind of songs. Because I tend to like the same sometimes.
You don't want to repeat yourself at all.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, you don't want to repeat yourself, but sometimes you also don't want to be all over the place. It's like really hard to kind of find that fine line between the two.
It was super stressful because, there's no right or wrong. There's only what your gut tells us. And then we were working with a producer named Colin Britton, who's, worked with Papa Roach and is doing their new record, and who we trust. So it was very hard to decide, okay, when do we listen to him? When do we listen to our guts? When do we, you know what I mean? It was very hard to kind of find the middle, because in the past I was like, well, fuck you, I just do whatever the fuck I want and fuck off,
Yeah.
And this time around, I think we try to be a little more open, and, it's 5 of us, so there's different opinions, and we fight, a lot, like,
Every band's story, right?
Yeah.
Now, one question I wanted to ask specifically for you is, I know that you also have a background with acting and performing arts and theater and all that, and I'd imagine that there are a lot of differences in acting and stuff, but I mean, playing on stage and playing with a band, I was curious to how different it is versus, acting in front of a camera versus playing in front of an audience with a band. Like, because in the end, you are presenting like a character. It is a form of performing arts. Is it a completely separate creative mind frame, or is there sort of like a formula you have?
It all comes from the same place, right? It's, like even when I play a character, I can't play something that I'm not. If that makes any sense?
Well, maybe. I mean,
like if I have to play a killer, I know how to kill a cockroach or a little bug. So I take that same feeling. And, everything that I do comes from me. So it comes from that same place. But the difference is, as an actor, you're on set, you have a studio, you have a director, you have a vision that they have for you somewhat, and you have to fit within their box. When I'm on stage, I can tell everyone to fuck off. I can do whatever I want. And no one is there to tell me that I can't jump up and down, and no one is there to tell me I can't do this, and no one is there to tell me I have to move over here at a certain, you know what I mean? There's all these restrictions in acting, where in music, at least live, I'm free. I can do whatever I want.
Well, that's funny. I would figure that there would be some restrictions like that in music because, you're working with 4 other members and you are working with a producer, but I'm surprised that there isn't maybe a similar
in the creative process of the record. There is like the opinions, and you got to think about, there's politics and all of that stuff, kind of like in the movies. But when I'm on stage, when I'm on set, I'll just do whatever I feel that the character would do. But a lot of times the director would be like, all right, Nina, too much, like turn it down. When I'm on stage, no one is going to be like, all right, Nina, turn it down.
Was there ever, though, a similar fulfillment that you had from both acting and performing with the band?
Yeah, because when you do a good show, I mean, you're like high because it's like an exchange with the audience, right? And when you play a character with an amazing cast and you start to get that thing, kind of like when you're jamming in a rehearsal space and you just kind of you get into this flow and you just kind of work off of each other. It's the same with acting. When you work with good actors, they give you so much, like an audience, that you don't even have to act. If you have to be scared, and some amazing actor will scare the crap out of you, and you don't even have to act because you're so in it. And then after you get that high, because it's just, ultimately you get stretched. Like when I'm on stage, I sometimes bring things out of myself that I didn't know that I had. I didn't know I was that angry until I started doing rock music. You know what I mean? I didn't know I was so aggressive, Yeah. And the same with acting. Like you go places you didn't even know existed. Like, I didn't even know I was such a sentimental, crying kind of human being. Like my skin is so thin, I feel everything. I didn't really know that until I started acting.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I feel everything.
Yeah. Because I would figure that with both acting and being a singer, there is an element of convincing that you have to do. You still have to convince whoever's watching you have to convince that you are this character. You have to make the audience feel like you are really that character. And with performing, you have to make sure that the audience who you're playing with in your band has to really be convincing as well.
But I think it stems from, it's all from within, right? If I really believe in what I'm saying in my songs, and if I really love my music, I don't have to convince anyone. If I'm having fun and I commit 1,000% and I go out there and give everything that I have, people are going to feel it. They may not like it, but they're going to feel it. The same with acting. If I have done my work as an actor and my homework, and I go out there and I know my character inside out, I am completely free, because you're not, once you're in your head, you're screwed. The whole, I think, goal is to get out of your body. Like when I perform, when I act, I have an out-of-body experience. When I'm done with the show, I can't remember half of what I did, because you're just reacting on instincts. And that's what's so amazing, because for that 45 minutes, half an hour you're on stage, you don't think about anything. You're just in the moment. And the same with acting. You're just in the moment, acting, reacting, just like that character. And you don't worry about politics. The world is going to go under soon. You know what I mean? You don't worry about anything. And it's like, that's my drug. Like, I don't do drugs, but that release that you get, that peace that you get where you don't worry is like what I'm addicted to. You're just in the moment.
Couldn't have said it better. I'm impressed. And just before we go, I want to thank you so much for your time. The self-titled record is officially out now. What could we be expecting from Letters from the Fire for the rest of 2018? You're on this tour right now with Nonpoint and He Is Legend.
I know, and I just want to give a shout out to those two guys. I mean, the bands. They're incredible. We're having a blast.
Yeah,
and
I'd imagine.
You're awesome. Thanks for your good questions. Good questions.
Thank you. I tried.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Just what could we be expecting from Letters to the Fire for the rest of 2018 into 2019?
As soon as we're done with this tour, we're going to take a little rest. I'm going to do a movie.
Really?
And I'm going to do another movie. And then we're going to recoup. And then next year, we're going to go out with a bang. And we just have a brand new single out. We covered the Cure song, Love Song. That's out. It just came out a couple of days ago.
I love The Cure.
Yes, and we're going to try it out tonight.
Yeah, that seems a lot of bands have been covering The Cure. It's really been cool. That band, you can't go wrong with The Cure.
No, exactly. Yeah, so I'm excited about that one. It's out now. It seems people are really liking it. So, yeah, we took a chance on it. So
can't go wrong with that.
Can't go wrong with that, yeah.
But thank you so much, Nina.
Thank you.
Yeah. Everybody, we are here with Nina of Letters from the Fire. Pick up their self-titled record. Check out their latest cover of The Cure. This is Alex from Heavy New York. We'll see you next time.